When your cat climbs onto your chest and falls asleep there, do you actually know what they're trying to say? On the surface, it just looks sweet, comforting, maybe even a little inconvenient. But behind that tiny weight and that quiet purr, there's something much deeper happening. Because this is not just a cat choosing a warm place to nap, it's one of the most personal, emotionally loaded choices your cat can make. And most owners never realize what it truly means until much later. The truth is, when your cat sleeps on your chest, they're not just resting, they're sending messages about trust, about safety, about attachment, even about your emotional state. And if your cat does this often, you may be a far bigger part of their inner world than you think. Let's start with the meaning most people completely miss.
1. Your chest is where they feel safest in the world. Why your chest? Why not the corner of the bed, the blanket by your feet, or the soft chair in the next room? Cats have options, plenty of them. If they wanted softness, they could find it. If they wanted quiet, they could disappear into 100 hidden places. But instead, they choose the one place that rises and falls with your breathing, the one place directly over your heart. That is not random. That is a decision. Sleep is when a cat is at their most vulnerable. They can't react as fast. They can't scan their surroundings the same way. Their body is telling them to rest, but their instincts are always warning them to stay protected. In the wild, choosing the wrong sleeping spot could mean danger. That instinct doesn't just disappear because your cat lives indoors. It stays, quietly, deep in their nervous system. So when your cat places their whole body on top of you and falls asleep, they are doing something enormous in cat language. They are saying, "I trust this place more than anywhere else." And not just any place, you. Your body, your presence, your chest becomes the safest zone they know. Think about that for a second. Out of every soft surface in your home, your cat picked the one attached to a giant human who moves, coughs, rolls over, and makes unpredictable noises in the night. If they still choose that, it means their sense of safety around you is deeper than most people understand. This is not casual affection, it's surrender. It's your cat letting go of their guard in the one place they believe nothing bad will happen. And by the way, later on we're going to get into what it means if a cat who always sleeps on your chest suddenly stops. Because when that changes, it can signal something important that most owners brush off too quickly. 2. They're drawn to your heartbeat and breathing. Have you ever noticed how quickly some cats settle once they curl up on your chest? One moment they're circling, kneading, adjusting. The next, they're completely still, eyes closed, breathing slow, body heavy. That shift happens for a reason. Your chest gives them something no pillow, blanket, or cat bed can ever offer.
Your heartbeat, your breathing, the gentle rise and fall of your body. To you it may seem ordinary. To your cat, it can feel deeply regulating. Mammals respond to rhythm in powerful ways. It's one of the oldest calming forces in biology. Repetition signals stability. A steady heartbeat signals life. A slow breathing pattern signals that the environment is safe enough to relax in. So when your cat falls asleep on your chest, they're not just near you, they're syncing with you. And this may go even deeper than most owners realize. Kittens spend their earliest days pressed against their mother and littermates, surrounded by warmth, sound, and movement. That kind of physical closeness leaves a mark. It becomes associated with safety, survival, and calm. So when your adult cat chooses your chest, part of what may soothe them is that familiar sensory world. The pulse, the warmth, the motion. It can echo something ancient in their memory, even if only at the level of instinct. That's why chest-sleeping cats often seem especially peaceful. They're not just taking a nap, they're settling into a living rhythm that tells their body, you can rest now. And here's the part that hits most cat owners emotionally once they realize it. Your cat may literally be finding comfort in the sound of your heart, not because they understand it the way we do, but because something in them recognizes it as steady, familiar, and safe. That's not a small thing. That's a profound kind of closeness. 3. Your scent and body presence calm their nervous system. Have you ever noticed that your cat doesn't just lie on your chest, they press into it? Sometimes they tuck their face into your neck. Sometimes they knead first,
Sometimes they rub their cheeks against your shirt or settle into the exact same spot every night. None of that is random. Your cat is surrounding themselves with the strongest version of you they can find. Cats live through scent far more than most humans understand. To them, smell is memory, identity, territory, belonging. When your cat sleeps on your chest, they're placing themselves in the richest cloud of your personal scent possible. Your skin, your clothes, your breath, your natural body chemistry. It all tells them exactly who you are and whether things are normal. For a bonded cat, that can be incredibly calming. But there's another layer here. It's not just your scent, it's your whole physical presence. The heat of your body, the sound of your voice if you whisper, the pressure of your hand nearby, the familiarity of your movements. All of it combines into one powerful message to your cat's nervous system. This is home. This is known. This is safe. That's why anxious cats often seek out the chest, shoulder, or neck area more than other places. It gives them maximum closeness, maximum reassurance, and minimum emotional distance. And if your cat only does this with you, pay attention to that. Because it often means you are not just their favorite person. You are their regulator, their reset point, the being they go to when they want to feel normal again. That's part of why bonded cats often choose chest contact after a stressful day, a loud noise, visitors in the house, or changes in routine. They're using your presence to settle themselves. And honestly, once you understand that, it becomes impossible to see this behavior as just a cute habit. If this is already making you look at your cat differently, subscribe. Because the more you understand what these little behaviors really mean, the more everything your cat does starts to make sense in a whole new way. 4. Sleeping on your chest is one of the deepest signs of trust and attachment. Most people think affection in cats is simple. A head bump means love, a purr means happiness, sitting nearby means comfort. And yes, sometimes those things are true. But chest sleeping goes beyond ordinary affection. It's one of the clearest signals that your cat feels emotionally bonded to you on a very deep level. Why? Because proximity alone is one thing. Vulnerable proximity is another. A cat can like you and still keep a little distance. A cat can enjoy your company and still choose the foot of the bed. But a cat who climbs right onto your chest is choosing the most intimate version of closeness available. They are placing themselves where they can hear you, feel you, smell you, and be held by your presence all at once. That kind of contact says something much stronger than "I like being around you." It says, "I feel secure enough with you to be completely exposed." Research on cat-human attachment has shown that cats can form strong emotional bonds with their caregivers, not in the same exact way humans do, but in a way that is real, meaningful, and behaviorally clear. And this is one of those behaviors. Because in the cat world, trust is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It shows up in where they rest, how deeply they relax, and who they choose when their instincts tell them to stay careful. So, if your cat sleeps on your chest, especially regularly, you are not imagining it. You matter to them. Deeply. More deeply than a lot of people give cats credit for. They are not just tolerating your affection, they are actively seeking a level of closeness that only happens when a cat feels secure, bonded, and emotionally anchored. That tiny body curled over your heart, that may be one of the biggest compliments your cat can give you. 5. They may be claiming you in the most affectionate way possible. Have you ever wondered why your cat seems so determined to sleep on you specifically, even when there's plenty of space next to you? Why they'll climb over the blanket, step on your ribs, circle 3 times, then settle right on your chest like they own it? In a way, they do. Cats are territorial creatures, but their territorial behavior is not always aggressive. Sometimes it's affectionate, sometimes it's social. In bonded relationships, cats often mix scent with the beings they consider part of their safe circle. They rub on you, sleep on your clothes, headbutt your face, press their body against yours. These are all ways of saying, "You are part of my world. You are one of mine." When your cat sleeps on your chest, they're not just receiving comfort, they're reinforcing connection. They are surrounding themselves with your scent while also leaving more of their own behind. It's a kind of quiet claiming, not ownership in a harsh sense, belonging, mutual belonging. Your cat may not think in words, but their behavior says something very close to this. This human is my person. This is where I belong.
And that's why some cats look almost annoyed when you move them. To you, it's just repositioning. To them, it may feel like a broken ritual. They found the exact place where closeness, comfort, and bonding all come together, and they want it to stay that way. Chest sleeping is not just about rest, it's about connection reinforced through physical contact over and over again, night after night, nap after nap, until that space becomes symbolic. Not just your chest, their spot, their place with you. 6. They're syncing themselves to your body and emotions. Ever had a night where you were upset, exhausted, or overwhelmed, and your cat suddenly seemed more determined than usual to stay on your chest? That's not your imagination. Cats are far more sensitive to your internal state than many people realize. They notice changes in your movement, your tension, your breathing, even your scent. And when they're bonded to you, those changes matter to them. Sleeping on your chest gives your cat a direct window into your condition. They can feel if your breathing is shallow. They can sense if your body is restless. They can detect if your heart is racing more than usual. Over time, they learn your baseline. They learn what normal feels like for you. And when something changes, they notice, sometimes before you do. This is one reason chest sleeping can become especially common during stressful periods. Your cat may not understand your job, your grief, your anxiety, or your bad day, but they understand shifts. They understand when your body feels different, and some bonded cats respond to that by getting closer, not farther away. They anchor themselves to you. Or maybe, in their own way, they try to anchor you. And what happens next is even more surprising. Sometimes it's not just that they are reacting to your emotions, they may also be syncing themselves to your routine and your body patterns, because closeness has become part of how they regulate their own world too. Your rest becomes linked with theirs. Your quiet becomes their quiet. Your chest becomes a place where both of your nervous systems settle into the same slow rhythm. That's a powerful relationship, even if it happens without words. 7. If they suddenly stop doing it, listen closely. What does it mean when a cat who always sleeps on your chest suddenly stops? This is the part every owner needs to hear. If this behavior has been a pattern for a long time and then disappears, don't assume it means your cat loves you less, and don't dismiss it as moodiness. Cats are creatures of routine. When a bonded cat changes something this personal, there is usually a reason. Sometimes the reason is physical. Pain, stiffness, breathing discomfort, or general illness can make chest sleeping feel less comfortable than it used to. If your cat has to jump up differently, seems less settled, or starts avoiding close contact altogether, that matters. Older cats especially may pull away from positions they once loved because their body no longer feels good doing them. Other times, the reason is environmental. A new smell on your clothes, a different bedtime pattern, a new person in the home. Stress, noise, even subtle changes in the bedroom can alter how safe that space feels to a cat. And sometimes the reason is emotional. If your cat was startled while sleeping on you, if they've been under stress, or if their trust has been shaken by something they associate with that space, they may create distance for self-protection. Not permanently, but enough to signal that something shifted. The important thing is not to force it. Watch, notice, gently look for patterns. Are they sleeping elsewhere? Are they less affectionate overall? Are there other signs of discomfort? Because when a cat changes a routine this meaningful, they are communicating. The good news is that if the bond is still strong, many cats come back to this behavior once whatever disrupted it settles down. But the key is paying attention. Chest sleeping was never random, so the loss of it usually isn't random either. And that's the deeper truth behind all of this. When your cat sleeps on your chest, it is not just a nap. It is trust. It is memory. It is regulation. It is belonging. It is your cat choosing the closest, most vulnerable, most intimate resting place they can find and deciding that with you, it feels safe. Safe enough to let go. Safe enough to soften. Safe enough to sleep over your heartbeat like that sound means home. So the next time your cat climbs onto your chest and settles there like they were meant to be nowhere else, don't just see something cute. See what it really is: a message, a bond, a quiet act of devotion most people never fully understand. because in your cat's world, that spot over your heart may not just be comfortable, it may be the place they trust most in the entire world.